can change our story, whether we think we can or whether we think we can't. We are right. Who we think we are, who we think we're not, we're also right. Why? Because only 5% of our mind is conscious. The rest, 95%, is subconscious. Our subconscious mind lives in the background of our experience. It controls our life. It has unlimited power and potential if we learn to access it and use it. When we go to school, we learn lots of facts and theories. We don't learn about feelings. We don't learn about ourselves. We don't learn how to live without fear. We don't understand that our emotions are actually patterns. Angry parents create angry children. Fearful parents create fearful children. And happy parents create happy children. Our programs come from our environment, our childhood, our ancestry, our history. For example, the program, the meaning of love, each of us has it, and it's a bit different for each of us. Say there are two people in a relationship, and one of them thinks that food is love, but she has a different program that says something like physical touch isn't that okay, it's a little bit taboo. And he has a different program. And she may cook him lots of wonderful food, but he may still feel disconnected. There's another common program that all of us are exposed to, and that program is the meaning of being a hero is to suffer. We see it in TV shows, we see it in the media, but it's not necessarily true that being a hero means to suffer. Our mind has some amazing characteristics, but our subconscious is actually really different from our conscious mind. The first characteristic of our subconscious mind that's amazing is that it projects what we deeply believe onto the rest of the world. We think that it's the world, but it's actually how we interpret it. And the second amazing characteristic of our subconscious mind is that it's really fertile. It's abundant. So when we plant seeds of fear or love or guilt or shame, they grow into gigantic trees that take over the landscape of our mind. The third amazing characteristic of our subconscious mind is that it's unlimited. Because our thinking is programmed, we can unprogram it and reprogram it. Another amazing characteristic of our subconscious mind is the fact that our focus creates our perception of reality. So, say somebody believes they are not beautiful. 10 people could tell them at an event, you look amazing. But even if one person expresses doubt, that's the comment that's going to stick in her mind. Notice how when we buy a car, suddenly every second car on the road is just like ours. So all these programs, when they come together, they create something which I call our happiness quotient. Just like IQ or intelligence quotient is about our capacity to learn, our happiness quotient is our capacity to create happiness and fulfillment. Wouldn't we all like some of that? So I have a story to share with you, a love story about a young couple I met called Mary and John. Mary and John were very much in love, but there was a cyclic pattern in their relationship. Mary told me that every time they come very close together, they really seem to be going somewhere with their relationship. John starts to pull away. And she was devastated. She told me she felt humiliated, she'd feel really angry, and she felt a lot of rejection. Why was this happening? John had experienced abandonment as a young child. John, as an adult, had no idea how this experience, this trauma, connected to his present-day experience of relationships. His program was that he needed to feel safe in relationships, and he knew deep down inside that people he loved couldn't be trusted. That was a belief. Mary, on the other hand, had a completely different upbringing. She had learned that to have love, she needed to please people. Her programs were that she needed love. Her programs were that she wasn't lovable enough. She'd get really upset. Our wonderful subconscious mind has an amazing magical power, and that power is that it stuffs down the stuff that's really difficult and hard to deal with. And that's an amazing ability because that's how we get on with life. And then we also, as a society, do turn to certain addictions to feel better. For example, drugs or alcohol, workaholism, perfectionism. So these addictions actually don't help us deal with the stuff that's underneath. They keep us stuck in the programs. Our wonderful subconscious mind has another quality that when we start to feel better, that's when the stuff comes up and we can look at our triggers. And it's an opportunity to heal. So for Mary and John, it was the perfect time to heal their stuff. But what about us? How can we reprogram our mind? Say Mary wanted more love in her life. How could she do it? Well, the first step is that we need to access the power of the subconscious mind and shift its focus. How do we access it? There are so many ways, including meditation, yoga, self-reflection, contemplative arts, even contemplative prayer, are all ways to access the subconscious mind. And then what Mary would have to do is instead of focusing on needing love and not having enough of it, she would focus on feeling love. Mary and John had no idea why things were the way they were in their relationship. They had a theory, just like all of us, and that theory went something like this: it's the other person's fault. When Mary and John realized that they were self-sabotaging their relationship and that there was a way out, it led to an epiphany of self-realization. Mary started working on her self-worth and loving herself. She was open and authentic with John, and she said to John, "I feel devastated when you don't answer my calls. I start to wonder if I'm lovable enough." And John had worked a bit on releasing some of the fear about being abandoned. So he said to her, "I love the way we connect, but when we've been together for a while, it starts to feel scary. and I just need a little bit of space so that I can be with you. I'm afraid that down the road, you're going to leave me. And this is how Mary and John were able to create a bridge, by shifting their focus from fear of abandonment and rejection to creating love and security in their relationship. We can all do this. All we have to do is access our subconscious mind and shift its focus from what we don't want to what we want. Most of us want happiness, but we're living only from part of the mind, reaching our goals from just this bit. What if instead we could reach the whole of us, connect to our subconscious mind, and reach for our goals? Let's change our story, because we can. Thank you.